Well, I'm in Mazorca Canyon looking down the road. I just drove up in the old Corolla, and up there in the sky you see some lenticular, almost lenticular clouds forming due to the wind. It's kind of windy out here today. So, and off in the distance there, the snow-covered mountains, that's the Sierra Nevada. And this is looking up Mazorca Canyon, basically headed north into the Inyo Mountains. Okay, we're checking out this abandoned mine. Now, I got a new setup here I got to tell you about. I am filming this with my iPhone. And I'll be editing the footage on my iPhone using a pretty good app that I found. So you'll have to let me know if the video quality is much better than my old camera that I have been using for about the last 6-7 years. That camera has so much dust inside of it that it was degrading the picture somewhat and kind of washing out the colors. Right now I've got this set on 4K, I believe at 30 frames per second, something like that. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if you see an improvement in the overall video quality and clarity. Anyway, lots of graffiti here, low ceiling. I think that says, I'm not sure what that one says. And I told you so. Yep, that is a low clearance right there. Low ceiling. This says stop and go back. Well, we're going to go forward. So the timbers run out right here, and then we just have the tunnel itself with no supports. Here's looking back at the entrance, the timbered entryway into this abandoned mine, and let's keep going. Now, the research I did on this one says this tunnel, this main haulage tunnel, goes in for about 2,000 feet, and there are some branching tunnels as well as a flooded vertical shaft with ladders still in it. So let's check it out. So there's looking back to the portal, and check out what's here in the ceiling. Someone drew that. That's pretty impressive. But we're going to continue down the main haulage tunnel that way. Approaching another short timbered section. Now you might be asking yourself, why do they timber here but not further ahead or not through the section we just came through? Well, they only timbered like this in areas that were prone to collapse. And see back here, the overhead, the ceiling, or what the miners would call the back, it's pretty solid rock. But in this section right here, for some reason, you can see up there how it's fractured. And there's kind of a void up there, maybe 3 feet tall. So this was just an area that was prone to collapse. You can see on the ground here, all the dirt that has come down right here. See next to the wooden posts? But there's none of that back in the rest of the tunnel. So while it's cool to see this timbering, like we're seeing right here, that means you're passing through an area that is kind of dangerous and prone to collapse. And then right here, somebody wrote, point of no return. Let's keep going. So here is an intersection. Main tunnel continues straight ahead. And we got a passageway here to the left and some more timbering there. See all the collapsed rock? Right where my light is, under that timbered section. That's why they timbered that. And then over here, I believe, is the flooded vertical shaft. Now, I was talking to another explorer named Jeff. He's from the OTG Exploring channel. That's OTG Exploring. There'll be a little slide out card that should appear in the upper right-hand corner of your screen with a link to his YouTube channel. He's been exploring abandoned mines not for too long, about a year, and he's got some great videos. And he was already in this mine, and he's gonna come back, and he's gonna drop a GoPro on a rope down into this flooded vertical shaft. Yeah, these are really dangerous. Let me get over here around this post, and you can see down in here the shaft. Check that out. That water is crystal clear. And here are the supports for the shaft. You can see right here the wooden collar. It's kind of eroded away here. Right here there's a gap. This was probably filled up with dirt at one point, but has collapsed and fallen in there. And that exposed the collar, which you can also see over here. Well, not really. It's either fallen away or they never had one, but you can see the collar over there where my light is on the far side. So I'm gonna step back over here. And that trap door right there, you see the hinges? The miners would have pulled that open to access the shaft, and there would have been a hoisting mechanism up there, a sheave wheel, like a big gear on, and then would have had cable on it, and that would have pulled up the cart from this vertical shaft. So we don't know how deep this goes. It probably went down a good ways based on the waste rock pile that's outside this mine. But yeah, that's the flooded vertical. You can see over there where my light is, those metal hooks. That's how they kept the whole thing held together with tension, I guess. Those metal hooks would go down and all the way up and would sort of keep the wooden supports nice and tight. So anyway, I tried to get a shot from the other side, but the trap door there is in the way and you really couldn't see anything from over there. So that's about the best shot I'm gonna get. I'm really afraid I'm gonna drop my phone. I'm used to using my video camera, but anyway, there's one final shot looking down there. Pretty cool. So there's the flooded vertical shaft we just were at. Looking behind me, you can see the entrance. We're 100 feet in, maybe a couple hundred feet. So we're gonna continue down the main tunnel this way. There is a branch right there going off to the left, but we'll take that on the way back. I like to take the main haulage tunnel all the way to its end, bypassing any branching tunnels, and then take the branches on the way back out. Now, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but my voice kind of got muffled here because I'm in this timbered section and the rock here made my voice get muffled, which means it's kind of unstable, and you can see how it's all falling down here. And that's why they timbered here, and you can tell by my voice. I bet when I get back up here, my voice will have some reverberation to it. So let's see if that's the case. So we're passing out of the timbered section with a dangerous rock, and yeah, you hear the difference in my voice. More of an echo here, and yeah, so that's why they timbered there, and probably same thing here with this little section. Yeah, you can see all the debris up there that's come down, and that's all being held up by these wooden beams that still look to be in pretty good condition for as old as they are. This was probably worked in the 1950s, I think. I'm not sure. And it's just a dead end. And same thing over here, a dead end. Let's keep going down the main tunnel. So continuing down the tunnel, you see these wires right here? There's some wires right there. There's some right here. Look what's on this wire. I believe a bat. A little bat is sleeping. It's hanging from that wire. It's coming down from that wedge right there. Look at that. It's a little sleeping bat hanging upside down. Let me get on the other side. And look at that. His his or her fur looks pretty healthy. Sometimes when you see these bats, their fur is all kind of like gross, like missing in places and looks kind of mottled and whatever. But this one looks pretty healthy. Look at that. So, just sleeping. Let's get real close. Yeah, his face would be down there, but I'm kind of at the wrong angle. But anyway, that's who lives in these mines. Bats, rats and mice, an occasional snake, and rarely a mountain lion. Those are pretty much the only things you're going to encounter. So still a straight shot. Here's looking back at the portal. And let's keep going. Okay, hear how my voice is echoing in here? So this is really stable. You can see on the ground the indentations where the cross ties, the wooden cross ties would have been for the ore cart tracks that would have been in here for the ore carts, the mine carts. And these wooden wedges you see sticking out all along here, those were used to probably hang up the ventilation tubing or to string up electrical lights or water lines or air lines, who knows. But that's what those are for. You see them all along here. They go all the way down there. So right here, the tunnel got really humid. Now that's because we're probably getting close to the end. And also keep in mind where that flooded vertical shaft was earlier on. There are flooded lower levels. So some of that may be coming from there. There may be an opening up here that looks down into a flooded area. And that's why all of a sudden got humid in here. And it could be from water seeping from above in the tunnel ceiling. But yeah, when it gets humid like this, it's a little cause for alarm, but that's why we carry oxygen meters. Because when the wooden timbers get wet or damp, they degrade over time, and I guess they can release carbon dioxide and they eat up the oxygen. Like right up here, here's a timbered section that's all collapsed. That's probably, these timbers are probably damp and rotten. See them right here? Yeah, look at that. That's why it's kind of moist in here. And yeah, this continues. And notice how my voice got kind of muffled in here because of this area, unstable rock. And yeah, that just keeps going. I don't know, I'm probably in maybe 1,000 feet. It goes for another 1,000 feet or so and just stops. So I'm not gonna go down there, but we can go back and take the branching tunnel that's up here off to the right. So let's go check it out. Okay, I'm making my way back out and I noticed above me, I missed this on the way in. Check this out. There is a colony of bats. That's as far as I can zoom in, but you can see them up there. That's pretty cool. There's like a cluster of them. And yeah, see them flying? That one's crawling down. See how they crawl? Looks like we have to cross a makeshift bridge. Check this out. That's a bridge over a pit. Well, I reached a question mark. I got a branch to the left and kind of a smaller one to the right. At the end of the tunnel on the face, oops, got a bat flying here. Well, it does dead end right there, but it goes to the right. We just came from that way.